Hello Internet, my name is TheRadams97 and this is Total War Warhammer. So this is another battle between me and Daggerex. This time, however, I have changed things up and I am now playing as the Empire. He, however, is still playing as the Greenskins. So let's get into this. For army comps, since I'm playing as a different faction as the last game, everything is obviously going to be very different. I'm now bringing 3 units of Empire handgunners to act as my initial skirmishing force. I'm bringing 4 units of halberdiers, knowing that he is going to be bringing large creatures since he is the Greenskins, so I needed to be able to counter them. I also have 3 units of swordsmen. On my flank I'm bringing 3 units of Empire Knights, 1 steam tank. My general is is a standard general of the Empire on a Imperial Pegasus. Now it's also worth mentioning that my halberdiers have 1 bronze chevron each, and 1 unit of my swordsman also has a 1 bronze chevron. As for the Greenskins, they are bringing the exact same army as in my last video. 2 units of Goblin Archers at the front, 2 units of Forest Goblin Spider Riders, 1 on each flank. He's brought his Black Hawks and his Crimson Killers, although this time his Crimson Killers are at the back and not his front line. And on the sides of his main infantry line he has his 2 units of Orc Boys. He also has his Ragnarok, I can't remember if I mentioned that. And he's bringing his Orc Shaman, Goblin Big Boss, 2 Doom Divers, and of course Grimgore Ironhide. Now I can't remember if in the last video he had the Goblin Big Boss, he might not have, but he has it this time. Let's get this thing underway.
Let us go. We serve the Emperor.
So I'm going to initially start up by just marching up my cav and moving in my steam tank into range to fire up initially on his Ragnarok. Going to start pushing forward my infantry as well, and his Doom Divers are going to begin to fire. Realising that trying to use that steam tank's cannon on the Ragnarok probably isn't the best idea, I'm going to change my target to his Orc Boys in a minute, although I did get a good hit off on it just then. Oh, damn these things. As you can see, I've now stopped and I'm going to push forward again, but this time I'm going to try and bring him forward into me. My cav have been moving around, but I'm trying to keep them in line with my infantry for the time being so they don't engage early and get caught out. I'm going to start pushing my steam tank down a bit, just so it's ready to get engaged in melee. One of his Doom Divers was able to hit my Lord somehow, a general, but it didn't do anything, so it's all good. As you can see, at this time my cav has pushed forward and they're going to attempt to flank. He's going to send out his Spider Riders to try and get out of that whilst his Orc Boys come on the flank. But I'm going to catch his Spider Riders with 2 of my units of Knights, whilst my 3rd unit brings itself around to his flank, hopefully trying to catch him off guard. As you can see, I've pushed forward my handgunners. He pushed forward his 2nd unit of Goblin Spider Riders to the other flank. I'm going to respond by setting up my halberdiers on that side, pushing forward the 3 remaining units to act as the initial support of the handgunners. He's just going to keep pushing his Spider Riders around, however, but now my handgunners have started firing on his infantry. As for that unit of Empire Knights that tried to get around, they weren't able to get to his Doom Divers because he moved in his Crimson Killers. So he's going to start pushing up his Arachnarok Spider to try and go after my handgunners, but he's going to quickly realise that's not a good idea as I put all my handgunners to fire on it. And they got a lot of damage off very quickly, and now they've actually driven it from the field. As you can see, I pushed my steam tank down a bit further, and now manoeuvring my halberdiers around to defensive sides, and I'm now going to push forward my swordsman. As for my knights, I pulled one unit out and they're going to take the opportunity with those that have pulled the Crimson Killers out, and they're going to have a perfect run to finally silence his Doom Divers. As for these have been fighting his Orc boys and winning decisively. So his infantry are going to push forward. I'm going to respond by pulling back my handgunners and pushing in my swordsmen, whilst my general flies overhead, providing a morale boost. But the issue here is that my infantry are vastly inferior to his. So on their own they don't stand a chance, so I need to get my handgunners in position ready to start firing again. As you can see, he pushed his Forest Goblin Spider Riders around, but his focus was to try and silence my steam tank, not my handgunners, partly because I had halberdiers ready to intercept. So he's going to push forward his archers, try and get some harass off as well, but they're not. But because they are low quality archers, they're not going to be quite as effective. My handgunners are also firing wildly on his exposed orcs wherever they can find them. But this initial battle has cost me quite severely. As for my knights, the unit that started fighting those Crimson Killers has been completely destroyed. I'm about to lose a second unit, but my third unit has been able to deal with these Doom Divers quite efficiently. Although Grimgor Ironhide himself stepped into the fight. But that did mean that Grimgor was not fighting over here, which I can take as a plan that had worked. Now I've got my handgunner, one unit of handgunners firing on these Goblin Spider Riders while my steam tank also fights them. I'm going to start pushing them up. I've left my depleted unit of halberdiers as a last line just to defend them if necessary. My knights are now just running around finding targets wherever they can. I need to quickly get these swordsmen back into the fight as they've been chasing off retreating enemies. I've been able to win the infantry fight thanks to my handgunners. But now my infantry I really need to regain control of. Now he's going to bring his Forest Goblin Spider Riders that rallied to try and bring back. And as you can see, the Spider Riders and the Arachnarok that routed have now rallied and are trying to come back into the fight. I'm going to try and get my steam tank to attack those spiders, whilst my handgunners move in to once again drive that Arachnarok from the field. I'm going to hope my steam tank can deal with them, and they are wavering. They are going to get a good charge off on my handgunners, but that from the attacks from the steam tank, they are going to break once again, but not before doing some pretty hefty damage to those handgunners. As you can see, my infantry have now pushed forward and I'm now trying to engage with the Crimson Killers, just really getting in place. The rest of my army is pushing forward over here, and they're going to try and get some hammer and anvil and just surround those guys. As you can see, I'm using a unit of halberdiers just to try and distract the Arachnarok whilst my handgunners move in. This is Orc Shaman and those Cav are being a problem. I have one unit back, giving them support and fire while they move. Here I've been trying to bring down his noble, so his big boss and his shaman. Shaman is somewhere over here. There we go. He's been trying to fight off, but I'm going to have the handgunners there fire upon him and these whilst he's trying to get into position. Also got a unit of halberdiers ready to fight as well. As you can see, I have been able to take out a lot of his Black Orcs with my strategy of surrounding them. And now my cavalry are going to come in for another charge. Grimgor is still, however, over here, and that, if you've seen my previous upload, you'll know is a problem. But that good charge from the Empire Knights is going to do a good amount of damage to these Crimson Killers. Now, this is still anyone's game, but it is starting to look in my favour, so long as I can keep my units in the fight as soon as they rally from routing. Here I'm just firing on this Orc Shaman with my handgunners. I was pulling this unit out, and now I decide it's the time to bring my steam tank in. Immediately drives this Shaman off the field.
Yes, my lord!
And now the steam tank is going to find a new enemy. If Grimgor can destroy my infantry, let's see what he makes about my tank. See how he handles getting run over. He's going to send his Crimson Killers to intercept, and that is going to be their end. Because this thing is just a beast. Right, so Ragnarok once again is going to come back to the fight, but I've got handgunners. There we go. They're going to fire on it. A few more volleys like that, and it'll be gone from the field for good. But now Grimgor is trying to fight my steam tank, and having seen that Grimgor doesn't stand a chance against a beast of metal, he is going to try and pull him out. After complaining that he doesn't want to see Grimgor get run over. At this point now, it's really looking to be my victory. Grimgor is taking a lot of damage, and the steam tank has got him distracted, so he can't do anything. I've created a nice kill zone here where he is with my handgunners. Don't know what caused them to rout, but they routed. So my swordsman, I'm going to put that, I've rallied there, I'm going to try and push back into this. And now Grimgor, despite all his death or glory, is going to run like a coward. So yeah, all he's got now is these Goblin Archers and his Ragnarok. Oh, and his Orc Shaman. But you know, it's really just not a chance for him. The 5 remaining Crimson Killers have also rallied apparently, but they're no longer going to do anything. So there goes his Orc Shaman, and yep, the rest of his army is also going to break and run from the field. Just for some endgame stats. As you can see, one of my units of Empire Knights, those that didn't just get destroyed, were able to do a good amount of damage. My handgunners, I got a few kills, but they mostly acted as shock. My swordsmen did better than I honestly expected. Well, 2 of them did. One of them did about as well as I'd expect, knowing that against his infantry they didn't stand a chance. As you can see, one of my units of halberdiers also did quite well for itself. But mostly the creation of the fear through my handgunners and my tank are what won me the battle. Thank you for watching. My name has been the Radams97.